Marvel Rivals. Is anyone still playing this game right now? Alright, I'm kidding. We all are. And with new content on the way, this game looks like it's going to be amazing for a while. And I, for one, am here for it. Because these character designs, to me, are so inspiring. They make me want to draw and learn from these design techniques. But it also makes me wonder, what would DC characters look like with this design? I think they'd look pretty sweet. But the amazing artists at NetEase, they won't be doing any DC characters anytime soon. So I figured, why don't I try it myself? Welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm Brad. Thank you for joining me on this first video of 2025. I'm a professional animator and illustrator with over 20 years experience, and on today's video, I want to check out the Marvel Rivals art style and apply it to DC characters and see how that'll look. But there's no way I can talk about designing DC characters without mentioning Phil Barassa. He's the creative director and lead designer for all of the DC animated films over the last 20 years. So if I'm going to rivalize some DC characters, then I definitely want to take some inspiration and some reference from a DC animation character design master. If anyone should be designing DC rivals, it should be Phil Barassa. So thanks for the inspiration, Phil. I'm a big fan of your work. Now, before trying to draw in this Marvel Rivals style, I really need to examine the character designs and kind of unpack this design style. And the one thing I notice immediately is that these are not your standard Marvel characters. These have been accessorized and stylized and modified to be extra cool and have a unique look. And that look is exciting and inspiring and something gamers and comic fans haven't really seen in a very long time. And I'm looking at you, Marvel Avengers and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. What were you thinking? This is how you design superheroes. Now, before we start drawing our DC rivals heroes, we have to decide what DC heroes to use. And I had a great suggestion from a subscriber to design Swamp Thing and Black Canary. And those are great characters. But for me, the most iconic DC characters are the Holy Trinity: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. So to begin, I want to re-examine the character structure breakdowns we did in our previous Marvel Rivals video. And one of the takeaways that we learned is that the male characters in Marvel Rivals tend to be muscular, thick, and kind of chunky, while female characters tend to be long and lean. Superheroes are meant to be mythical gods and goddesses walking among us. They're not meant to look like normal average people. And the designers at NetEase fully understand this. And with that in mind, I'm starting with Batman, and I'm designing him with the Marvel Rivals structure base to give him that look. And because these are character design concepts, I'm avoiding any action poses. I just want to get the look and the design of the characters down in a basic standing character design pose. If this was a professional character design concept job, I would do multiple rough poses of this character before settling on a solid pose to design from. I think I've got a few good ideas working for this Batman. I think I'll start refining the pose and start adding some accessories and really cool rival style detail to his costume. So let's speed this along a little bit so I can continue to revise the pose. And notice I'm really stylizing the anatomy. He's got huge shoulders and a really broad chest with a thin waist and kind of thin legs in a way. And here is my base design. I'll duplicate this so that I can play around with different ideas for his costume accessories and unique look. I think I like this middle one. And yeah, I think we'll start adding some ink lines here and see where we can go with that. I can continue to modify and change things as I'm inking this version of the character. So if you like this kind of content, then please hit the like button and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I'm kidding. But every like and comment and new subscriber really helps the YouTube algorithm to allow my channel to find an audience. And it really helps me to be able to continue to make this kind of content. Now, getting back to this Batman design, I'm doing a lot of the fine costume detail in the inking stage because I pretty much have roughed in a lot of the ideas that I want, and now it's just adding the detail. I like these spikes on his boots. I think that would come in pretty handy in some combat. So obviously this drawing process has been sped up immensely. And if you're curious about the long form drawing process from roughs to final inks, let me know in the comments. And yeah, maybe I'll include that in a separate video. So I think that about covers this Batman design. Let me know what you think in the comments. I used the Marvel Rivals Moon Knight character for some design reference and inspiration. So yeah, what do you think? This Batman design is a little more forward-facing than the Rivals Moon Knight design, but I think it works. In the next video, I'll be coloring these DC Rivals in the Marvel Rivals color style, so I can really unpack how they use their coloring and digital color style. Now, let's break down Wonder Woman and see if we can't capture a Marvel Rivals style design for her. So first I need to nail down her standing pose. She needs to look tall, strong, and confident. But I also need to add some gracefulness to her stance. Even though she's a warrior, she doesn't stand the way that the male superheroes do. Women tend to hold their weight differently than men in a standing pose. So I like to throw the hip out on one side and put a bend in at the waist, sort of twisting the torso a bit. Here, I just want to try out a couple other options for her pose. Maybe there's something else that works better. I think these other poses here are okay, but they don't have the same confidence or sense of grace that the original pose does. So I think I'll stick with that first one. I do like this pose, but it just doesn't say warrior to me. So we'll start cleaning up this first pose again. We'll add some more detail, and I'll work out her face and hair shape as well. And here I'm going to start adding some costume details and give her that unique Rivals look. I've always been a huge fan of the original Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. Those designs are just classic to me. So I want to keep her costume a little bit similar to that, but include a little edginess as well. Let's take a closer look at the Marvel Rivals female faces. Right away, we can see that they're designed with that classic beauty look. Large eyes, full lips, high cheekbones, and big hair with sharp, pointy angles. A very 90s Joe Madureira Battle Chasers comic book style in a way. So I really want to capture that look for this Wonder Woman design, specifically sticking to the big hair with the sharp edges. And she needs to be beautiful. It's Wonder Woman. So we'll give her some big eyes, thick lashes, those high cheekbones, and this very stern look. Now let's speed this along a bit more. Just showing the inking process here. I've always loved the stars in her costume. To me, it's a cool design motif that we can add throughout her costume. Along with that W design pattern that you can add throughout, shoulder pads, her leggings, her tiara. And of course, we have to add that cool sword and shield, because she is a Greek goddess and an Amazon warrior. And I think that about covers it for Wonder Woman. What do you think? Is she Marvel Rivals worthy or DC Rivals? Please let me know what you think in the comments. And as I mentioned with the Batman design, I will be adding some in-depth color videos for these characters in the Marvel Rivals style. And if you want to download these DC character structure templates that I've created, you can get them for free. Just see the link in the description below. And finally, we can't do a DC Rivals without Superman. And honestly, Superman is a lot harder to reconceptualize or redesign than we think. So I'll begin with a scribbly gesture drawing to get his pose, and I think he should be floating, sort of instead of standing on the ground, he should be kind of hovering. And I think he should be pretty huge because, I mean, if he was in the game, he would definitely be a tank. I'll correct his design structure here, and I think it should be a slight upshot, and he should be kind of looking down at us. I'll add a lot of detail to his muscles and anatomy, because that's a pretty big character trait for Superman is his muscles and his strength. as opposed to Batman, who can be covered more with armor and tech. We'll raise his right fist here, which seems to be a design trait for a lot of the rival stuff. And now I'll start adding some costume detail. Uh, for starters, that really big S shield on his chest. Um, I was never a fan of the Injustice designs for Superman, where they added a lot of armor to him. To me, he's Superman. He doesn't need armor. And here I'll start adding some final ink lines to the face here, and I'll just continue to go along. Again, like the women, Superman's hair should be kind of have like a pointy, edgy design to it. And obviously, this is a super fast time lapse. The actual drawing and design process took much longer. But let me know if you're interested in seeing a full design process for these characters, and I will add that in a future video. I went with a more modern Superman S shield. It's a lot like the new James Gunn movie design. I really like that. I think it's very cool. It's probably based on the Kingdom Come design a little bit. I'm not 100% sure, but I like this design. As I did with Wonder Woman, repeating the different design motifs, I'll do the same with Superman's S shield shape. I won't include the S throughout his costume, but the shape of the shield could work on his shoulders, his belt, or his legs. So I'll speed up this inking process here and we can get a better look at some of the design choices I've added to his costume without changing it too much. I'm keeping the trunks, but also modifying them and adding some detail to his forearms and his legs and boots. And I think that's about it. I'm pretty happy with this design. I think I captured a somewhat unique Superman and a design that would fit well with the Marvel rivals. What do you think? Did I completely miss the mark? Let me know in the comments below. So this was incredibly fun to do, although pretty hard. Making this video turned out to be a lot longer than I expected. So I hope you got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspires you to create your own versions of Marvel Rivals characters, maybe of your own characters. And again, if you want to download these character design structures for free, please hit the link below. Thank you as always if you've made it to the end of this video. I know it was a long one, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, please hit the like button, and definitely leave a comment below. I would love to hear from it, and let me know what you'd like to see me do in the future. Design-wise tutorials, let me know. And with that, Happy New Year, happy 2025, all the best, and I will see you soon.